All right, the doctor is in, and while we all know trees, lights, wrapping paper are key parts of the Christmas holiday, yes, they can also be dangerous. How can you avoid setting your house or someone else's on fire? Let's get some safety tips now from Dr. Ernest Patti, Senior Attending Physician of Emergency Medicine at St. Barnabas Hospital here in New York City. And I imagine you have seen your share of Christmas injury.
We definitely have. You know, I like to remember it in 5 ways. The 5 things that are most commonly occurring during the holidays: burns, cuts and lacerations, electrical injuries and fires, food prep problems, and personal health and injury.
I imagine, I mean, we're watching people walk by outside the windows. Everybody's bustling, everybody's in a rush. You got to get your Christmas shopping done, and that's part of the problem, isn't it?
Most definitely. It's definitely a problem. People don't eat properly. They forget to stay hydrated. They overindulge in alcohol. They get in the car and go to the mall. Things like this can contribute to their own personal safety. The other problems that occur are people have to prepare a lot of food. You get injuries that occur when you prepare food using different utensils and different appliances. You also have problems with Christmas decorations, wrapping paper, fires, candles. People like to light candles at the holidays, things of this nature.
So just something like slicing a loaf of bread, for instance, can cause a problem if you're trying to rush through it, if you're not paying attention, or maybe if you have a glass of wine in one hand and your carving knife in the other.
Of course, if you're carving, you know, and slicing vegetables, fruits, breads, whatever, meats, you have to remember you want to have sharp knives. So it's always good to sharpen your knife. You want to have the proper tool for the job. In this case, it's a serrated knife, which is good for bread and vegetables, things like that. And you have to cut it the proper way. If you were going to cut some bread, basically you'd want to hold the bread solid, and you'd want to cut away from your fingers. My fingers are on this side of the bread, and I'm gently cutting down and using a cutting board or a hard surface.
And a sharp knife is safer simply because it takes less effort to get through whatever it is you're cutting.
Most definitely. If you use dull blades or dull knives, you're definitely going to increase your chance of cutting yourself and getting a laceration, requiring you to take a trip to the emergency department. You'll
have to tell us about some of the more unusual patients that you've seen in the emergency room. In doing the research for this story, I read about one guy who put his Christmas tree in the fireplace because he was going to burn the Christmas tree after the season was over, but he forgot that once you get the tip going, the rest of the tree goes too, and that was not in the fireplace.
It's definitely an inferno. Christmas trees go up when they're dry. They're like tinder boxes. And don't forget, inside your house or your apartment, the drapery, the couch, any of the rug or carpet, any of those items are flammable as well, or potentially very flammable when a tree would ignite like that so quickly. You need to have in the house fire extinguishers. Even in the kitchen when you're preparing meals, you can get an oil fire or a grease fire. A common way to put it out is not with water, but you could use salt or sugar quickly and then look for the fire extinguisher to give yourself some time. Burns are common things that we get all the time. People burn themselves with the turkey fryers when they want to immerse a turkey in a hot oil container and fry it. People constantly burn themselves. Children get in the kitchen and they get near the hot oven or stove when you're making Christmas cookies. These are injuries that occur daily, and if they're prevented, many times that's the best treatment for it.
One year I took a huge wad of Christmas wrapping paper that had been, you know, torn off and thrown into a big ball, threw that in the fireplace. Not a great idea.
Yeah, it's definitely not.
It was almost like a flashbang situation.
Right, remember to keep the Christmas tree watered properly as well.
Yeah.
And also don't overload the electrical circuits, because those Christmas lights, if you put on too many strands, can cause a fire that way.
Dr. Ernest Patti from St. Barnabas Hospital in the Bronx. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, and happy and healthy New Year to everybody.
Thank you. And stay safe out there.
Yes.
Dr. Patti, that bread looks good. Do carbs count during the holidays, or do you get a free pass for carbs?
No, you get a free pass during the holidays. And so we're going to cut up the olive bread, and we're definitely going to share it with the staff here, as well as the chocolates that we brought, which are dark chocolates, Jenna.
Thank you very much, Dr. Patti.
Healthy.
You heard it from the doctor. Carbohydrates are totally good over the next couple days. I'm glad we asked.